please send me to Dallas. I will I will play in the tournament just to make sure that it's legit. And if I win any money, I'll donate it to charity. I know
Okay, John Q.
but
what charity? Nico Valencia's charity for overweight lefties in pickleball. Like, what is going on? What charity are you donating this to?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie,
Welcome everybody to another episode of the PicklePod. I am your host, Nico the Lefty. As always, we have Zane Navratil, this time on weird hours in Vietnam. Zane, what time is it in Vietnam right now?
It's 8 a.m., so it's not too bad. That felt weird, dude. It felt weird to be introduced to my own podcast. You're like, as always, we have Zane Navratil. Like, what is going on here?
we don't have a guest today, so basically, I'm running this show as if you are my guest. So this is my my first time run as the official full-time host with first billing of the podcast. You will be our guest with the, probably shitty Wi-Fi and the subpar camera from Vietnam, maybe recording from your phone.
Hey, hold up. I actually finally upgraded the Rode production quality. I got a DJI mic. You won't be able to see this, Nico, because we're doing this like ghetto thing where I'm like Google meeting you over on the side and I got my camera out in front. But look at this, you guys. Look at this. My camera is tracking me everywhere. It's pretty cool. Looks good. Some tech person will probably tell me that it's crap, but I'm pretty proud of it, to be honest. I got a light up there, not Wi-Fi dependent on 8 bits per second or whatever we got going on over here. I'm excited about this, Nico.
I'm excited. You were a few minutes late to the podcast recording, and I had asked our producer, I was like, JB, is it possible that Zane could not find a Panera Bread in Vietnam to record the podcast?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I'll have to Google the closest Panera near me, and we're probably a couple thousand miles away.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got a good show for everybody today. As always, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like, subscribe button, comment, share with a friend. Like if you want Zane back as the full-time host. Comment if you want me to replace him, overtake him, first billing, and probably twice as much money. We'll see what the dink wants. But Zane, I think you're probably pretty safe here, but we'll see how it goes.
Wait, you're getting paid?
Only in Maui Nui Snacks. They said, "Hey Nico, what kind of food would you like to host the pod? In-N-Out Burger, Maui Nui." So, yeah, so that's how I get paid.
All right. Well, hey, I mean, honestly, yeah, I would take that.
Yeah,
Does this count as our Maui Nui ad? Because honestly, this is as organic as it gets.
It is just like Maui Nui with 55 grams of 55 calories and 10 grams of protein. They're not actually sponsoring this episode of the pod, but congratulations, Maui Nui. You get this. Maybe you can just send me another pack in the mail because I still love it.
Deal. Same here.
Anyway, this is a great segue here. Speaking of not being paid, let's talk a little bit about Proton bankruptcy, Proton ban, the UPA ban. Big news in the world of Proton. Zane, you have kind of basically been saying the writing is on the wall. I have been defending Proton to my inner circles. I have a buddy, Eric Burns, who is an ex-pro
Why would you do that?
player. And he asked me like 2 weeks ago, he goes, Nico, is Proton in trouble? Are they dead? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? That's dumb. Maybe they are. Zane, what's going on? What is happening?
Dead. R.I.P.
Dead.
Just no. I mean, but it's been so strange because probably when did Proton come in? They signed Andre during 2023 when I was on the squeeze. I remember he used that first initial cotton candy looking paddle.
Oh, yeah.
And they had that like rubbery surface around then. And like about 6 months in, it was like, all right, something's weird here. We're getting told by pros that they're not getting paid for months, and then they're showing up to events and getting handed like wads of cash, no 1099s, nothing, like all types of weird stuff going on from 2023 until now. So there's just so much smoke. There's just so much smoke. Obviously there's no like flaming gun yet, but lots and lots of smoke. Obviously, there was the involuntary bankruptcy from last year, which people were very, very quick to poo-poo. But like, there are serious repercussions for if you fraudulently file an involuntary bankruptcy proceeding, and that one, I think, from what I understand, settled outside of court. And now there's this, which I think the PPA and UPA doesn't come down so hard if there's not a serious amount of money being owed for a serious amount of time.
Jeez, it's like Bernie Madoff or the guy that did that put together the Backstreet Boys. I don't know. Is this a front for money laundering? You know, am I going to get sued for saying this myself? But a lot of
No,
stuff.
no, no. Apparently, if you just say allegedly,
Allegedly.
at some point during this podcast, guys. Everything we say during this podcast is allegedly. All right, deal. There's that's the Dink corporate lawyer team now can defend anything that we say. So let's really take that as far as we can here, Nico.
And to double stamp it, this is also satire. So you guys can,
Ooh.
between allegedly and satire, we have every base covered. We can say whatever we want about whoever we want. And we're coming.
And these are simply opinions.
Yeah. And their opinions. My goodness. We are covered. I got to use this like in life. I got to remember allegedly satire opinions. And, I can never be held liable.
Yeah, let me know if that works with your wife. I might try it too.
Oh my goodness. So the one question though is like, I think I listened on one of your videos that they owed like 7 figures. Like, is that how much these companies are paying the UPA? Like $1 million for?
I don't think that was from my one of my videos, because I don't know that. I mean, like, I don't know. I had heard well over $1 million, which obviously would be 7 figures, but I don't think, I think that's just part of the rumors. I would imagine it's got to be 7 figures to go to like come down on them this hard. Sponsoring a PPA event is not cheap, and we don't know what amount they have or haven't paid or whatever, but yeah, so interesting. I wonder if this is going to mean, do we think Proton paddles go up in price like Enron t-shirts? Do we think they go down in price, like a Rodney Grubbs Pickleball Rocks bankruptcy liquidation sale? That's a real, what is this going to do to the price of Proton paddles is the real question.
I mean, I think those collector edition pink, cotton candy type A, type B, or whatever they're type 1 pickleball paddles, or those are probably going to be like the next, Tesla paddle on eBay. So we'll see. I don't know. Everybody's reaching out to me and they're just like, this is bullshit. I love my Roadrunner, my Peacock or whatever. And like, I want to be able to use this forever, but I don't know.
Yeah. No, I noticed that. I posted my YouTube video and there were so many people like defending Proton. That's fine. Like, they can make good paddles. They can also owe a lot of money to somebody. And like, I don't know. I wouldn't defend a company that owes allegedly a lot of pros, a lot of money. And just in my conversation with, pros, I've yet to hear somebody that's been on good payment terms with Proton.
Yeah, no.
And so, like, I don't know. They can make a good paddle. I wouldn't defend a company that's not paying their arrangements.
And do you think this will affect amateur play at all? At least within like UPA events?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think that the UPA should ban their paddles right away, but I actually wouldn't have a problem with them banning the Proton paddles after some period of time. Like, hey, look, Proton owes us a ton of money. Like, we're not going to let people use their paddles at our events, but give them like till the end of 2026. By 2027, you got to have your get a different paddle essentially. I think that's like most people are switching out their paddle by that amount of time anyway.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm interested to see. I mean, if you had that original type, I don't remember if it was type 1 and 2 or type A and B. I feel like type 1 and 2 sounds too much like diabetes. So probably not, it wasn't what it was called. But those cotton candy ones, like, apparently they get better with age, like wine. So they might last forever. Who knows? But, it'll be interesting. We'll have to do a tier list one of these days on banned pickleball paddles. Which ones were the top? Like, is the Mod the best banned pickleball paddle of all time? Where does the Roadrunner or the Peacock or whatever the latest Proton add up, that original
I like
carbon.
that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, leave us a comment. We'll do that next week. Let's do that next week. Leave us a comment. What is your favorite banned pickleball paddle? We got stuff like the Diadem Hush paddle. That one was just straight up illegal from the beginning. And they made no qualms about that. I think we can just throw in illegal paddles as
illegal
well.
paddles.
Diadem Vice.
Is that the Vice? Is that the one with the holes in it?
There's the Hush and the Vice. I think both were illegal.
Illegal.
The Vice was the original one with the holes in it. It was like straight, full foam, whatever. Leave us a comment. What's your favorite illegal pickleball paddle? I think we can even, mention ones that become illegal, right? Like those original legacy paddles that were the first ones to delaminate and then hit like a truck. Like the top illegal paddles. Let's go for it.
You have Gearbox Pro Power. I mean, I never had more fun hitting people full bag than a Gearbox Pro Power. That's dangerous. That's fantastic. There's a ton. All right.
Leave us a comment.
Let us know.
Hey, I have to actually issue one correction. The Phoenix Flames at one point had ownership from the Proton team and kind of they sort of took that over last year, right? You had Brandt and the clipboard the whole time, but from what I understand, they sold their stake in the Phoenix Flames, so the Phoenix Flames aren't affected by any of this, by the sounds of it. So
I had never seen anybody walk back their relationship with somebody faster. Like they boom immediately, like a story on Instagram that's like, we don't fuck with Proton at all. Like Charles Darling, who I don't know what you're talking about, but
we don't even know who Proton is.
We fired the clipboard guy. We are out. Yeah, exactly. So Phoenix Flames, whatever they're doing, whether they're a dumpster fire or not of an MLP team is different. They're definitely at least not. They don't owe 7 figures to the UPA apparently. So good for them.
Well, hey, Nico, this got me thinking, right? I love our Mount Rushmore segments. This got me thinking, and we don't know for sure whether or not this is some sort of fraud going on. In fact, there's not really much evidence to believe that there is actual fraud going on, but it's shady. So what is the Mount Rushmore of pickleball shadiness and or frauds? Because we love a Mount Rushmore.
We love a Mount Rushmore. And I think you got to have George Washington front and center, the Legacy Park duo. Like that for sure. Number one, to me, I was like, I think they I think we saw they're in prison now or they're going to prison. That's probably the worst thing that has happened in pickleball, and they owe people $300 million, which I think it's one of those things where you probably saw it coming from a mile away if you actually just paid any attention, but that's got to be right up there, George Washington.
Yeah, you know what? I was gonna put our guy Rodney Grubbs from Pickleball Rocks as the George Washington, but he's definitely got to be on the Mount Rushmore. The Pickleball Rocks fraud, I think he's probably going to prison too. They scammed $40 million from their T-shirt company, which honestly, I feel like that's on the person that invested into that company. Damn, you're really selling a lot of T-shirts, dude. Let me give you a couple $100,000. What is going on there? So,
that's the perfect timing to announce I'm going to be starting Nico the Lefty merch anytime, so if you want to invest in that. Actually, it's not true. I don't have it. I should, now that I know that you could possibly make $40 million, maybe go to prison, but it's a good front.
Yeah. See, the problem with all these scams is they don't escape to Mexico or Guatemala or something before they get caught. They get caught and they just stay here. Just take your money and run. What's going on? Anyway.
Everybody always gets to get caught. Everybody loves to get caught. They love to get caught.
This is true.
I think you have to throw, regardless of whether or not it is fraud or not, I think Proton has to be on this Mount Rushmore. I'd still put Proton there. The fact that they're not paying their pros, the fact that they somehow figured out a way to owe 7 figures possibly, sneaky sell their stake in the Phoenix Flames, make it out in the night like a bandit. I don't know what's happening with their baseball stuff, but I think Proton.
Yeah, I got a lot of comments saying that their baseball stuff is equally shady.
So if this is the Slim Shady, Mount Rushmore or fraud Mount Rushmore, but I put Proton right up there. They're Thomas Jefferson. I don't know. I'm not trying to I don't remember the 4 that are on Mount
Yeah.
Rushmore.
You know what? Give me Prawn Coley as Teddy Roosevelt on there from Pickleball World Rankings, Pickleball World Series. You remember those guys? They were going to pay like millions and millions of dollars for their 6 events, ended up canceling all the different events. The guy, I think, like, ran from the country, whatever it was, defrauded some people. Yeah, give
Where
me
was this?
Pickleball World Rankings and Pickleball World Series on there.
Was that here in the States, or what was that?
They were
Where
gonna
was it?
run
The
one.
India one, or
It was they're based out of India. They were claiming that they were going to do events in like Dubai and the Sphere in Las Vegas, like all types of crazy shit, and then never ran any, and promised the pros like $25K to show up to events, like just stupid money. And like these weren't even like PPA pros; these were like APP pros getting
APP
promised
pros.
$25K to like show up to an event.
Wow. All right. That's that. I just imagining these people showing up and then there just being no tournament, no nothing, no money. That sucks. So they're not on the mount. This organization has nothing to do with fraud, but it just reminded me. Did you see like the amateur like pickleball money tournament series that happened? They had their first tournament in Arizona this past weekend, where they were like paying out $600,000 to amateurs.
Yeah, was that the brick wall thing?
I don't think it's brick wall. I
No, I
think
don't
it's
know.
something. It was held at the Legacy Sports Park, I think.
Right.
And
One good fraud deserves another.
yeah,
Allegedly.
exactly. Yeah, I saw our guy Evan Slaughter there. I think T.O. was there, Vinny Pickleball, and like they were giving out like $2,500 to like the 3-5 champion. Like I
That's
don't understand
crazy.
how
Where
that
does that
works.
money
Like
come from?
that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. And so like. Is this stuff money laundering? I don't know. Allegedly, no. But I have no idea how they're paying. I think it's pretty cool. The next one is in Dallas, and maybe they just, took it on the chin and ate one for the first tournament, and people now realize, oh, this is real, and we'll see 3,000 people compete for this amount of money in Dallas. But I might have to go there and check it out. Do some
I
investigative
think you're gonna have to do
reporting.
some investigating, Nico. Yeah, because I mean, like, I'm now just always skeptical of people who come in and really blow the norm out of the water. Like, if there's some company that's paying just 3x anybody else, all right, my spidey auditor senses are tingling.
They,
I think you
okay.
got to go do some investigative journalism, Nico. I think
All
that's
right.
what you got to do.
The Dink, Thomas, Dan, if you're listening to this podcast, I hope you are. Please send me to Dallas. I will I will play in the tournament just to make sure that it's legit. And if I win any money, I'll donate it to charity. But yeah, we'll have to check it out. I know
Okay, John
Zane's like,
Q.
that I could barely even say that with a straight face. But
What charity? Nico Valencia's charity for overweight lefties in pickleball. Like, what is going on? What charity are you donating this to?
oh my gosh. No, yeah, I actually thought about that. I was like, I should do like a charity competition for XYZ. And I was like, what charity would I do? I was like, Zane's got Stop Alzheimer's Now. I just like, I got to think of something, Overeaters Anonymous. I don't know, whatever.
Oh, hey, speaking of which, what about how's the Lefty Reset challenge going?
Oh yeah. So if you're watching this and on launch day, congratulations, which is Tuesday. The launch of the Lefty Reset is on Wednesday, April 1st. It is April Fool's Day, but the challenge is real. All right. I am not pickleball money tournaments. I do not have $600,000 to give, but we do have $1,000 to the winner of whoever can lose the greatest percentage of body weight over the 60 days. And it was one of those things where I was like, all right, I'm going to post this out of my own pocket until I can hopefully find a sponsor, and we'll see if that works. Because I'm already making negative money a lot of times in pickleball, but we found a sponsor. Thank you to. By the way, Zane, before I get too far in this, I have been like nervous to even announce the sponsor because I don't know how to pronounce. Is it Squares? Is the shoe company that you use called Squares?
How else would you pronounce that?
I don't know. I saw maybe I was like I'm like dyslexic and I thought it said like Squires or something like that. And I mean Why can't they just call it squares like a normal spelling? All this stuff, whenever it's like PIKKL or SQA without the U and the IZ, I don't know. So squares. Anyway.
How would you let's humor me.
Oh gosh.
How else would you pronounce squares? Just
Like I said, I think it's because there was no U and I saw the A and I could never remember. Like I didn't even take 1 second to look and see if it was squires or squares. And I was like, why would the shoe company be called Squires? But then also, why would they spell it this way? Anyway, SQAIRZ, I think. Anyway, so
yeah, squares.
they're the title sponsor of the Lefty Reset. So thank you guys. That's awesome. And thanks Zane for the connection.
Yeah, I got you. Squares is good stuff, man.
Yeah.
People see the square toe box. If you have wide feet, you got to check them out for sure because it gives your feet, your dogs, a little bit more space to run around in the shoe. Your toes don't get all scrunched up the way they do in other ones. So, yeah, I like them. Great for pickleball. Lots of lateral stability. They've got these little I think they call them outriggers or something like that on the outside of the
yeah.
they
got a pivot point in the middle of the shoe. I saw that.
They do. But anyway,
I think
shoes. I feel. Oh, go ahead, Nico. Go ahead. Now that you know how to say squares, really take this segment
no,
over.
What I was going to say is, anytime I review shoes or talk about pickleball shoes, there is a cult following of people that I think they have an auto reply bot set when they see a shoe review that says, how wide is the toe box? There's two things that people always ask about that are I don't know if it's bro science, real science, or whatever, that there's a cult of people that want a wide toe box and people that want zero drop shoes. I have known nothing about the drop on the square shoes, but they definitely have a wide toe box. They're built with a wide toe box. So if you're at me on the comments and DMs about shoes that, don't have a wide toe box, these are not it. They have them. And so your feet can spread out as, if you like your toes like this somehow. I don't know. You got plenty of space. So it's cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the Lefty Reset real quick here. So if you want to join, there's still time. All right. So you can actually sign up anytime within the first month and submit your initial weigh-in. The way it's going to work is there's going to be a code word that you'll find out on Wednesday. You take a picture with that word and the scale, and then you can win $1,000, right? And we have that pickleball trainer who trains Anna Bright and Hayden Patriquin to help with diet and fitness. The whole thing is free. The whole goal, for those of you yes, I'm doing this for you, but mostly I'm doing this for me because, as I've said, I can't lose weight by myself. I need accountability. So I created an entire nationwide global challenge just so that I would be accountable to lose weight. Anyway, and I thought I'll probably end up winning this too, but I'm not going to pay myself, so I'll be disqualified. But I'm still coming for the top spot. Anyway, so it starts April 1st. You guys should sign up. NicoTheLefty.com. We're gonna get the dink to send this out in the newsletter, and this is the pressure that they need. I'm just calling it right now. If you don't see me on the pod next week, is because I've been writing a lot of checks that my that I can't cash, but kind of like Proton.
Okay, Proton.
but anyway, no. So it's basically, and then there's going to be also another grand prize of a 4-month one-on-one training with that pickleball trainer and his group. Like I said, the people that made Muscle Mommy Anna Bright and Hayden Patriquin. And
hold on. Yo, pause. What did we just say there?
I didn't say anything.
No. I swear I heard something. JB, let's get a replay of that. What did he say?
I'm quoting her and her fans.
Yeah, but that's there are certain things that other people can say that you can't, Nico. I feel that might be one of them. Anna Bright's allowed to say that about herself. I feel like you're not allowed to say that about Anna Bright.
You're probably right. But here we are. I can't take it back anymore. So it is what it is. The toothpaste is out of the tube. But so if you win Best Transformation, which is basically based on, because some people don't have a ton of weight to lose. Some people are there for overall fitness. So there's going to be a prize for that. And then we got a bunch of different sponsors to also do giveaways every week just for participating. So for me, it was important that every week I checked in. even if I did good or if I did bad, it didn't matter. I just needed to check in, right? And so like we got enhanced pickleball, we got 11-6-24, we got forward the pickleball bags. So we got a bunch of people that are giving away prizes just for people that show up every week and check in. And then at the end of the 60 days, you submit your results. We pick winners, we celebrate. We lose a ton of weight, we feel good, and we play better pickleball. So it'll be fun. I'm excited. Hopefully this is like the first of many. Hopefully eventually also I get to the point where I don't necessarily always need to transform myself. I can just stick to it. But I'd love to run these more often than not. And yeah, so we got a bunch of people already. It's all hosted like on school and stuff. So you got the community. If you've done any kind of training online with pickleball, you might be used to it. But that's what we have. And then shout out to Zane. We haven't, I probably got to figure out how to dot the T's and cross the dot the I's and cross the T's. But
yeah, figure that out.
we're gonna also anybody that signs up for the challenge can get is it 2 weeks of Zane's pickleball school, the transition zone.
Yes, sir. Yep. So we'll have support for different drills and stuff that you can do, different lessons within the transition zone. So yeah, happy to support the Nico the Lefty, the Reset Challenge. And I got to ask you a quick question first. Yeah. How are you preparing for this? Like, I feel like, for most events, you prepare by like, trying to get healthy, all that stuff. Like tonight, before April 1st, are you just going to like crush a bunch of beers, drink as much water as you possibly can, try and gain as much weight in the next 12 hours so that you can easily like lose it?
Yes. So I want to ask, I want everybody in the comments to drop their last meal recommendations as well. But I thought about this and I already have my meal prepped, right? So today we're recording this on a Monday, it's coming out on a Tuesday. Tuesday night, I for sure am having sushi. All you can eat sushi. So in Reno, like all you can eat sushi is like the big staple of Reno. It's weird, but it is fantastic. It's everywhere. And the nice thing is, 1, I love sushi. 2, I can eat a ton of it. 3, it's got a lot of sodium. 4, I drink it with water. And then all of a sudden I got this bloat. I look terrible. I've added like an additional 5 pounds. This is probably not healthy. But that's what I would do. Zane, what would you do if you were to say you were in my position? What are you eating the night before?
Ooh, I can really crush endless Ben and Jerry's. And like that, first off, you got to get like a burger, the fries, whatever, like just to say that you had a real meal, and then just crush pints and pints of Ben and Jerry's. And that's going to make, like, those are real calories. That's not just water weight, right? So like, yeah, no, that'll be good. I can eat those for forever.
That's the difference, though. I'm not trying to gain actual weight. I'm just trying to gain the water weight. Like, so
okay,
I'm
good
being
point,
strategic here, but at the same time, I mean, endless ice cream. And what's the flavor? I'm going with like a half baked or fish food Ben and Jerry's.
Topped fish food, those topped or the core ones, those are some real solid additions from the Ben and Jerry's line for sure. Anyway, we should probably talk about pickleball again at some point.
Zane, I just have one last question here for the Lefty Reset, and that is, I'm trying to think about how much you think I could lose in 60 days. What's a number? I'm going to shoot for a goal here, Zane. If I hit something, Zane, we should have some kind of little bet here.
All right, what are you now?
I'm 290.
290? You think you can get that up to 300 by tomorrow?
No, I don't. I tried. I try. I'd probably say I'm like probably like 293 by the time the challenge starts, but we'll just say 290.
Isn't it? So like you're supposed to lose at most like a couple pounds per week, like to do it like in the healthy way, right? Yeah. So what do you think? It's an 8-week challenge, 2-month challenge, 60 days. Yeah. So what? 2 pounds a week by 8 weeks. That's only 16 pounds. That's only 16.
I feel like I can do more than that.
I feel like you can do like 30.
I think 30. All right, Zane. 30 pounds. That'll be the goal. So we have over under 30 pounds. This is we need a lot of audience participation here. Let us know in the comments. We'll have Zane he's my supporter, but he's also team under 30 pounds. I'm team over 30 pounds. What happens when I hit 30 pounds at the end of the time? Let us know.
Dude, that's crazy. You're like 2 of me.
Yeah, I am. I hit twice as hard. I can reach stuff at the top shelf. But people are always like, you don't look almost 300 pounds. I'm like, because I'm like 6'4", and my head is just
This
massive,
is true.
But
Also, yeah, like Nico is way, way bigger in person. Like you're just a thick boy. Like even if you were like 10% body fat, I feel like you're built to be like 200 pounds if you're just totally shredded.
oh, I was one story. One time, I was like I was in the mall and I was wearing a Nevada Wolfpack football shirt, and I didn't play football or anything. And I like was getting, I don't know, Starbucks, and this guy, he's like serving me Starbucks, and he's like, oh, you play on the Nevada football team? Cool. And I was like, no, I just like them. He goes, oh, so you're just big as hell for no reason? I was like, yeah, I guess. I didn't know what to say, but like, yeah. So I'm the hefty size that's like, I put on a football shirt and you just assume that I play on the football team. Like I wear, so, but yeah, so we're going to
That
see.
guy then spelled your name Nikko
He
at
sure
Starbucks.
did. And he was wondering why I was getting a pinkity drinkity. So, so anyway, so
It's a great drink.
So thank you guys all for enjoying the Nico the Lefty Reset. Like I said, if you're interested, go check it out. There's plenty of time, and we'd love to have you. But back to pickleball.
All right, Nico, tell us more about MiLP Health and how are they going to support in the Lefty Reset Challenge? Like, we talked a little bit about, healthy weight loss. Is that something that you can work on with MiLP Health?
It is. And so it's funny. I always mention that, in this challenge, I will absolutely be cheating. And if you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough. And MiLP Health is the way that I cheat. But in reality, it's all good things. But so here's what happened. So I'm trying to figure out, and I have to talk with kind of my health team. And the nice thing is I have a health team. So I signed up for MiLP Health, and they gave me a bunch of recommendations, right? And one of them was like, oh, hey, Nico, your testosterone is slightly low. So great. The whole world gets to know Nico got low T, right? No, the KOTC is going to love this one. Anyway, so like, oh, yeah, this happens with, people when they're, 40 or whatever my age is. And so I'm still debating. I was like, all right, do we want to have other kids? I don't know if I want to be on testosterone, right? So I go different routes and take other supplements. And of course, I'm like 2 days before this Lefty Reset, and I'm like, let me reach out to Peter, my guru, my health advisor, and say, hey, is testosterone still on the table? Right. So that is definitely an option. So like if you have low T or if you think testosterone will help you, absolutely MiLP Health can get you there. And I messaged him and he immediately responded like within like 2 minutes. And he was like, hey, Nico, yeah, we just need a physical and we can look into the testosterone. And I said, damn it, I already did it. And I did. And so I saw my actual physician, got a physical, and went to send it to MiLP Health. And I never actually sent it to them. I don't know why. So I forgot. So now if I want to do it, the only downside is I actually have to go back to my physician and ask for a physical again because I can't just go 100% of the way. But the moral of the story is if you want to win a health challenge and you want to get in the best shape of your life and you actually want like all of the resources, testosterone being one of them. And like I said, it doesn't have to be for everybody, but just because I think there's like this stigma around something like a testosterone or some of the things that can actually benefit your life. Like, oh, hey, you shouldn't need this because you should naturally be able to do everything. But it's not the case. So there's a ton of people that have a ton of different circumstances based on genetic factors, their blood, etc., that they can really benefit from, kind of like almost like leveling the playing field. And so while Zane is Mr. High T in the 700s, you know what I mean? Like if you can tell, he's the most manly man I've ever seen. And then there's me, who while I look like a brick shit house, football player, like maybe not, right? Now I get to level the playing field and I could possibly be as strong and as masculine as Zane and completely dominate this challenge. So
there we go. So is that the punchline of this ad? If you want to be as strong and as manly as Zane, try MiLP Health. I feel like we got to redo that if that's the case.
They're probably going to fire us after this one. No, but anyway, I love the team. I love Peter. I love the fact that the supplements, the help, the guidance I need is there. And when my life changes and I want, to pick other things back up or try things or whatnot, we can hop on a call and figure it out. And if you want the same experience that I've had, just go to MarikHealth.com and you can get 10% off the guided optimization with the code DINK. And that's MAREK health.com. 10% off with code the DINK. So we had one of the coolest events, PPA Black Rock, which I think every year, people rediscover it as like a really cool venue, but I think the press this year was like, maybe it's because of the aerial views, but everybody was
Well,
like,
this was a new venue. That's
new
why.
venue.
A
Okay.
new venue. Like people always rediscover St. George as like, oh, St. George is sick. I think Black Rock is in or around St. George, but I think this is the first year that it was actually at this venue.
The venue was sick. It was
Yeah, the venue
amazing.
was unreal. I've put it in my recap video. I don't normally get FOMO from missing events, but I'm like, that place looked freaking absolutely sick. And the problem is, I swore off going to St. George 2 years ago when this happened. Okay. So we used to get rental cars from Hertz. And the best way to get to St. George is you fly into Vegas, you drive to St. George. It's like a little over 2 hours probably. So I fly into Vegas, wait for like an hour and a half in the Hertz line, get my car, drive to St. George, get to St. George. I realize I don't have a license plate. No license plate. I get out of the car, no license plate, because they had those little paper ones and it somehow flew off somewhere between Vegas and St. George. Like, okay, that's sick. Perfect. So I have to go file a police report. Otherwise, like, you just can't be driving around with no license plate. So I go file a police report, whatever, like, deal with all that stuff, and then lose on my way back, get a flat tire. On the way back to Vegas, get a flat tire, like 5 minutes outside of St. George. Also, it snowed that year again. It snows every year in St. George, except for this year where it was 100
like
degrees.
90, yeah.
So, yeah. So on the way back, get a flat tire, change it, going like 50 miles per hour through the mountains all the way back to Vegas. 10 miles out, pop another tire. I'm like, fuck Hertz, I'm driving.
A different tire?
Different tire. Popped 2 tires, 1 trip, no license plate. This car was in absolute shambles as I came back. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going back to St. George. Nothing against St. George. Loved St. George when I was there, but the travel was just absolutely brutal. Now I have FOMO because I decided not to go and decided to come here to Vietnam instead. But anyway, dude, I feel like if that happened to you, I'd be like, you know what? This place is cursed. I'm done.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I've cursed places for less. And to your point, it is a pain to go to a city that is 2 hours outside of an airport, regardless. Also, the fact that you had to wait for Hertz is like a super rookie move. Like this must have been like the first time you traveled. Like, how do you not have Hertz Gold? Then you just put the keys and pick up the keys from the inside of the car and just get the hell out of there.
Dude, I feel like every single time they're like, we don't have your car, you need to check in.
Yeah, I just say give me any car in the aisle. I don't care. Give me the standard or midsize, and then it just lets me pick. And somehow, like I used to travel for work, now I'm President Circle. I feel like I'm President Circle for life. So it's Hertz is fantastic. But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
all right. Well, Hertz can sponsor Nico. I will take Turo as my sponsor. I love those. Guys, actually, Turo is a travel hack. Turo is like Airbnb for cars. You basically like rent out somebody else's car. It's way cheaper. You get way nicer cars. They deliver them right to you. Like, seriously, Turo. I wish I had a discount code or an affiliate link or something, but this is just me genuinely loving that.
By the time you listen to this podcast, if you use code Nico the Lefty at Turo, I'm sure I can figure out a way to get an affiliate.
Nice.
No,
but this venue looked unreal. Like golfing, it's like right in a bunch of actual like Red Rock formations and all that stuff. Yeah, it looked really, really cool.
Yeah. So great venue, cool backdrop, perfect weather, no Zane. You couldn't ask for a better tournament. But let's get to the pickleball. So we'll start with like probably the headline is there's a new number 1 in men's singles. Chris Haworth takes gold, beats Federico Stackstrud, jumps from I think the 3 spot to the number 1 spot in the rankings. This is actually just the 4th ever different number 1 player in the world in men's singles pickleball. It went Ben Johns, Federico, and then back to Ben Johns, back to Federico, maybe back to Ben Johns. Anyway, back and forth with those two, Hunter Johnson, and we're at Chris Haworth. So Zane, first question is, how long is this going to last? How long do you think Chris Haworth holds the 1 seed?
Oh, that's an interesting question. That's an impossible question. I don't know. I feel like unless Hunter or Fed take this one back from him, I feel like he'll have it for a couple of years, but it's so hard to predict, especially in singles. I'll give it 18 months plus or minus 3 years on either end. I got no idea.
That's a long time. I think Chris Haworth said that he assumes that it's going to go back and forth between those three.
Yeah, he's got to say shit like that.
He's too nice.
He's got to be humble. He's got to be humble.
Nice. He's so nice.
Yeah, well deserving. He's obviously put together the most consistent season so far. And the crazy thing is how quickly he did go from number 57 seed in Cincinnati to number 1. Less than 6 months. It was like 12 PPA events. It's crazy.
That's crazy. So I'm assuming Chris Haworth to you is also the best singles player. I know he's number 1 player in the world, but is he the best singles player?
Yeah, for sure. I've been saying he's been the best singles player undoubtedly since 2026, since the beginning of the year. Like it's been hard to say that there's been anybody better. So yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense.
And it's possible since he was playing APP for the last 2 years before that, he's been the best singles player for the last 2 years, last 2.5 years. Who knows?
True, but he did struggle early on. Like he didn't medal in his first 2 PPA events. Now he ran into Hunter Johnson early on, but like he struggled a little bit, I think, getting up to speed with PPA, and then obviously he did, and now is crushing it. So yeah, clear number 1. I give it, if I had to guess, 18 months. It's just why, like, I can totally see somebody else coming in quickly and crushing in singles.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I think right now, obviously we have the 3 that are big, and I think they're head and shoulders above everybody else. And I think it's Chris's to lose. It just seems so effortless. Like I don't know. I think everybody also just kind of respects Chris Haworth as the best. Like if I know Anna Lee is in a different universe, but when people like show up to an Anna Lee match, they just expect to lose. I feel like Chris Haworth has that kind of aura around him more than any other men's player on tour when it comes to singles. Like people are like gearing up to lose to this guy that's just going to blast him off the court without breaking a sweat.
Yeah, I mean, like it's obviously, I think, way more with Anna Lee. Like men's singles, yes, Chris Haworth is absolutely the best, but people can get hot and give him a game or two. I mean, like, look, I pickled him in a game, right? Like one player can get hot, one player can get cold in men's singles, and anybody can steal a game from anybody. Like I think Chris Haworth could actually drop a game to anybody in the pro draws. Like he doesn't do that consistently, but like the volatility and the level of men's singles makes it so that it is way less of a foregone conclusion than when Anna Lee's playing.
Yeah, I mean, he had match points against, I think, to a 14-year-old kid, just in Minnesota. So, yeah, it's tough. Speaking of anybody can beat anybody, Zane, just another side quest story here is I saw there's a new Discord chat that came out. Like I said, I like to go to Discord to punish myself for liking pickleball. And there's one for pro player talk.
Yeah, check that one out, boys.
Yeah,
I created that one to give people a place to chat about pro pickleball, and so now you found your way to it. Okay, sick. I don't think we even talked about it on here. But it's pro pickleball talk. We'll put it in the description.
You did not tell me about it. What a nice descriptive title for the Discords, in case anybody's wondering what it's about. It's definitely about pro pickleball talk. But I got on there because there was a tweet that said, I did not have it in my bingo card to be defending Nico the Lefty on Discord today. And I'm like, wait, nobody's on the KOTC chat defending me in forever. So this has to be a different Discord. What are we talking about? It was Jake Elvar. And he's like, oh, it's this new Discord that Zane created. And there was the first discussion was how many points I could score on Zane in a singles match if we played 3 games of singles. And
3 games?
3 games of singles. And Jake, somebody said that I could score 3 points total in 3 games of singles. Jake said 8. which I think is probably generous considering I'm 290. Big as hell for no reason. But these are the kind of discussions that you could see. And Zane, how many points could I score on you in a singles match? Three games. Could I score 3 points? Could I score 8 points?
That's interesting. I would put you probably at like 1.5 points per game, right? Because in order to win a point, obviously you've got to win 2 in a row. You've got to win one on my serve and then one on your serve. Like I could actually see you winning points on your serve with some, because you can just clobber a serve and then clobber a third, whatever. I'd probably put you at like 1.5 points per game.
I think so. I told them, let me drop this, 30 to 50 pounds on the reset, and then we'll have this conversation. Maybe we'll give it a go. We'll actually do 3 matches, and we'll see what happens. But I to your point, my thought was like, if I hit a serve as hard as I can, and then I go for broke on if I hit a serve as hard as I can, go for broke on a passing shot on the third, I could score points. I could score a point on Chris Haworth. You know what I mean? Like it's possible. And then somebody said, there's no way Nico can score 3 points against Zane. Zane pickled Chris Haworth. And then a bunch of people were like, yeah, but, and then we got all the reasons why you pickled him, which was basically like, Chris felt bad for Zane, wind, hungover, I'm just playing with his opposite hand. I don't know. But so
I'm
anyway.
not super confident I would beat Chris Haworth if he was playing with his opposite hand. I mean, that two-handed backhand all comes from the left hand to begin with. So, I mean, like, that'd be a tough one. Can Zane beat Chris Haworth with his opposite hand? This is the type of stuff that you get in pro pickleball talk. You get amateur pickleball talk.
I love it. I love it. And so we got 4.5. That's the over under. We'll try it out at the end of the Lefty Reset. We'll see how we do. I saw Thomas Shields score more than that on you in one match, but you look like you were sleepwalking through the match. It's almost like a hype video for Thomas.
I'm sure those, might have been selectively edited.
Yeah. So back to actual pickleball. So Black Rock, couple fun moments that I saw, speaking of getting frustrated with singles. Jack Sock blasting a ball to outer space. Hayden Patriquin also blasting balls to outer space, getting technical fouls, losing points. Is that the right? First off, let me ask you, you hit a ball out of the stadium, should you immediately lose a point? What's the right punishment there? You're part of the pro Karen committee, so.
Also, first off, I think that episode from last week did not get enough love. I mean, the Karen committee, I thought that was electric.
Oh.
I thought the thumbnail was electric. Me with the Karen hair, that might have been our best PicklePod episode of all time. So look, paddles, I understand. Paddles can hurt people, right? Paddles can hurt people. A ball can't, especially when you launch it upwards. And I would like to take a little bit of credit. I feel like I may have actually pioneered this movement in the pro game. I did this against Spartak. You remember when he hit that tweener winner against me? I went and scooped up the ball and then sent it to outer space, and I got a warning. I didn't lose a point, actually, funny enough. First off, big fan of players doing that. Doesn't hurt anybody. Much better than smashing a $250 paddle, unless it's a Proton, because I guess you got to smash that anyway. No, I think they're just expressing themselves. It should probably be like a warning, I guess.
Yeah, I was so surprised. I mean, so Hayden does it at what 10-9 in game 1, something like that.
It was 11-11, and Jay and Jaume had just won the point, and so Hayden was subtracted a point, and it becomes 12-10, game over.
Oh, Hayden was subtracted a point. Okay, 12-2. That's what happened. And I think the best part of that entire sequence, if you guys run it back, is the Christian Alshon face.
His face.
He's like, oh, yeah. He knew exactly what was going to happen, and I think also Hayden basically was like it's in the budget. Just basically walked right to the bench. Is like, I know what I did. We lost this game. Let's just regroup and we'll beat some ass in the next game.
and that they did. He was like, you know what, we're done here.
I think
That was impressive.
there's an alternate universe where he doesn't do that. He controls himself. They lose the game anyway, but he doesn't have the added motivation to like come back and destroy, and then they lose the match. Who knows? So this might have been what Hayden needed.
Who knows?
Dude, and my favorite thing is, and I posted a video about this, but like when Hayden or anybody, Leia, whoever, but specifically, I think Hayden gets the worst rap, and then sometimes Anna Lee when she like has an outburst of like people go straight to Facebook groups, they get super upset, and then my favorite thing is they're like, "This guy's an adult. He's 19 years old. He should know better, and he's a role model." And I'm just like thinking like, dude, I mean, one, did you ever see Justin Bieber when he was 19 years old? Like he was going insane. But two, like a 19-year-old is an adult in title only. Like this kid is still like, he's a kid. No, he's an animal, you know what I mean? Like they're not like mature. Like I think they expect professional pickleball players just because they have a platform to be better than everybody else as humans. But like, I don't know. Like it's crazy that, how much we hold these people up to like the perfect standards.
Also, like, it's a pickleball. Who cares? Like, again, I can actually understand that argument much more for paddle throws. People can get hurt. Paddle smashes. It's wasteful. Launching a pickleball, who actually gives a shit? like it's not hurting anybody. Yes, is it bad behavior? Sure, but you're not Hayden's dad. Like Jay DeVilliers is Hayden's dad. Like you're not his parent. Like it's not your life. Like you got no say in that. You can have opinions, sure. You can be like, I think that's stupid, whatever. But like that's your opinion. Like.
Oh yeah, and those are the people that I don't want to hang out with. Like the people that hate that behavior. I'm like, we're not having beers. You're a tough hang. You are a tough hang. So anyway, they overcome. They win that match. Take Ben and Gabe to the absolute brink, which I think now officially men's doubles is the best Championship Sunday match to watch by far. Couldn't get over the hump. Anything you noticed in that match? You watched the finals?
Yeah, I broke it down a little bit in my recap video. I think the only thing is you see under pressure moments, Hayden and Christian don't have a play that they go to, right? They don't have a clear plan or a clear like identity. They're both two players that are very free flowing, but it doesn't seem like they have a certain pattern like we are trying to set this up. And so at the end of game one, you saw Christian pulling a lot of forehand triggers, which he normally does, but there's not a spot that he goes like when we need a clutch point. He missed a few of those at the end of game one. Hayden then starts pressing. He throws up a lob that goes out. He clunks a third into the middle of the net, and that's the game. That's game one. That's the difference in that match. They're at 5-5 in game two, and same deal. Like Ben and Gabe go into lockdown mode, and there's not like a particular pattern that Hayden and Christian try to set up with any sort of regularity, right? Like we're NBA or NCAA. Like you've got these plays, or you've got a general idea of what you're trying to do, and you need one last bucket at the end of the game, right? It just seems to me like there isn't that like level of setup or analysis for match point, and which is great when everything is flowing well, but when things are tight, like you've got to have a game plan. That's what it seems like is the main difference. It seems like crunch time, Ben and Gabe have a plan. Christian and Hayden, not as much.
They're just relying on pure skill, athleticism, and impromptu nature. So I guess the question is like, whether it be like Ben wide backhand, or I'm not sure what is the game plan? Like if you say you're the coach of those two, what play would you run? Like what do you think should be the crunch time move?
Yeah, I would say I think for the most part, it seems like Christian pulling the trigger early doesn't work quite as well. I think trying to get Hayden to dictate those points and be the aggressor, but also not press, right? Like I feel like sometimes Hayden presses. It seems like sometimes in those clutch moments, both of those guys are looking for those offensive opportunities, which is good to look for, but they're trying to beat each other to the punch, a little bit too offensive down the stretch. I would say maybe it's setting up Hayden a little bit more in those clutch moments, so he can sort of attack on his own terms a little bit more.
I like it. I definitely saw. It seemed like in crunch time, Ben came through a ton with great counters. You know, Gabe putting away like counters away in one, and Ben taking any speed up, turning it into like a 2-shot combo that he was always on top of. So, yeah. So, do you think they go undefeated the rest of the year? Or do you think Hayden?
I think we're past the era of. Okay, so a better question is, do they go undefeated through the rest of the season, if you will, which ends in May? I think there's a good chance of that. I think it's so hard for any sort of men's doubles teams to go undefeated on a season. I think that would be an unbelievable accomplishment. So I'm just gonna go no on that, just because of the pure like numbers. And you do see like, yes, they won, but this is the closest the field has been to them this year, right? They were almost taken out by Andre and Fed, who they had been crushing at the beginning of the year. And then, they escaped game one, fighting off 4 game points against Hayden and Christian. And, they're at 5-5 in the 5th as well. They still are undefeated on the year. I just can't imagine they go the entire year undefeated. I think I'd be extremely impressed if they make it through May undefeated. Not saying that they can't, but that'd be a really impressive accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since they've lost. Number 1 seeds in all disciplines besides men's singles are like 101. I don't know. I'm not sure what their actual record is, but but yeah, I think for me, when it comes to men's doubles specifically, is that at the very beginning of the partnership, it seemed like Ben and Gabe didn't know how to win. Like Gabe was nervous, and they got 2 times at the very beginning. And now it feels like the field doesn't know how to win again. Like they come close, but the thing that's impressive to me is that Ben and Gabe pull out every close match now. Like matches are close, but they still pull them out. It's 5-5 in the 3rd. They roll through like 8 points. You know what I mean? They come out and they put their foot on your neck when they need to. So I don't know. I'm going to say I think they're going to go the rest of until MLP unbeaten. But the fact, I think this is the most impressive streak out of anyone, is that how dominant they've been in men's doubles, more so than the mixed doubles or the women's doubles or whatnot. I think this is the most impressive feat so far.
Yeah, because I think the overall level of men's doubles is probably the highest and the deepest. So yeah, I'd say it's impressive. Hard to say it's as impressive as Annalise approaching 700 days undefeated, which is nuts. Over 100 matches, 24 straight tournaments. Dropped a game to Leia, and what I didn't know was apparently she had the flu as well. But yeah, I guess.
Yep, she said she would die on the court to win. So, which I believe. But yeah, she dropped the game to Leia. And that, did she drop a game to Leia? Or she almost. Leia had game points in the first game and lost in 2, I think. Kate Fahey had pickle point in the finals. She was up 10-0. That's crazy. Like I was ready with like all the tweets in the world to say, like, I was just so excited. It's like 10-0. This is insane. And like, I don't know what it was. I think it was like, Annalie missing some shots, but Kate like completely going for everything as hard, ripping serves, ripping passes, like no fear, and kind of like giving Annalie the Annalie treatment. What I thought. But in the end, she pulls out game 1. Annalie comes back and wins like, I don't know, like 26,
like 3-2 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Won a ton in the end,
which was super interesting, right? Momentum is such a thing in pickleball. If Kate converts that, and I think Annalie had a net cord at some point in that 10-0 point, or there was something like it was very close to an 11-0.
Oh,
I just wonder.
Zane, what happened was Annalie like had a 360 on a point that Kate then just happened to put in the same exact corner instead of in the wide open court, and lost the point. Like it should have been 11-0 to your point. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember what happened. I knew there was something crazy. 11-0, that's a very different thing because she wins that point. She's able to get momentum back, claw it back to 8-10. And if she loses 11-0, like, things can go quickly from there, right? So she obviously brought it back to 8-10, 8-11, whatever. And she's like, all right, I've got a game plan. Like, we're good for games 2 and 3. And she was. But if she didn't have that time to recover at the end of the game, even though she lost it, let's just say that the game 1 is completely inevitably for Kate. Like, coming back to 8-10 was absolutely huge for Annalie, I think.
Huge. Yeah, I mean, to me, I first off, I'm thinking, all right, it's at like 10-0. I'm like, this is maybe a 50-50 game at this point. Like, if Annalie wins 2 points, then like, who knows what's going to happen? And it just looked like Kate, while she won, was not, she was almost already defeated after winning a game. Zane, I got a quick question here for you. Let's just say Kate wins game 1. What do you think? What does the score have to be in game 2 for you to officially give the edge to Kate in the match? Say, like, the betting favors Kate. Like, if
she
Kate's
wins
up
the first game,
9-4 in game 2 and won the second game, is that where you like? How bad does Annalie have to be down before you say she's no longer the favorite to win it?
I think she's got to be down a game and 8 points.
A game and 8 points.
I think the odds are 50-50 at a game and 8-0 for Kate. If you're completely disregarding context, right?
Yeah.
If you're completely disregarding, like, okay, she's sick or whatever, like, it's got to be like a game and 8. Because if you look at their recent scores, it's like 3-2 every time. So like 3 would obviously be 11 for Kate. 2 would be ending that match at 10. Like, yeah, a game and 8, which is nuts. Like, who beats it? Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, I'll say, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'll take shit for it again. Annalie, far more dominant pickleball player than Serena Williams ever was in tennis. Don't think that's a particularly controversial take whatsoever, but other people do. And obviously, tennis is a more impressive feat. It's more competitive, whatever. Agree with you there, right? If you said what's more impressive, Serena Williams or Annalie, I would say Serena Williams for sure. But dominance-wise, not even close. Annalie Waters is way more dominant than prime Serena Williams. You can put that on my gravestone.
Zane Navratil.
Annalie, you know what? I've got other shit to double down on. People are giving me shit for the Hayden Patriquin because Ben keeps beating him. But I'm like, yeah, because Ben plays better more consistently. I will also die on the hill that Hayden Patriquin, while this happens 10% of the time, maybe, is a better player than Ben Johns when Hayden Patriquin is playing at 100%. Yeah. Right? He doesn't bring that level nearly as much, which is why he doesn't beat Ben Johns very frequently. But I think if you asked just about anybody on the Pro Tour, I think you would have 90+% of people agreeing on that. Like, his top level is the top level. But anyway, people are giving me plenty of shit on that one too.
You're probably right. But like 90% of casuals online disagree with you and give you shit, give me shit. I would tend to agree. Now, what somebody did bring up to me, well, they didn't bring up to me. Maybe I brought it up to them. I was listening to somebody talk and they were saying, oh, they didn't mention me by name, but basically they gave the whole, oh, Hayden's better than Ben. Maybe they're talking about you. I don't know. But it was talking about one of us and about how it's bullshit and like they won one time and we're trying to dethrone them, whatever, right? But where I think they went wrong is they said Ben and Annalie win because of Ben. And they said if Ben left Annalie, he would still win all the mixed goals and Annalie would get silver. I think there's nothing farther than the truth. If Ben and Hayden switch partners, is Hayden and Anna Lee winning a majority of the golds in mixed, or are you taking Team Ben?
Oh, versus Ben and Anna Bright. Hayden and Anna Lee versus Ben and Anna Bright. I would love to see that. I think, yeah, because I think I don't know. I think that's a pretty a pretty even team there. I would give probably the slight nod to Anna Lee and Hayden, but then again, like my whole thing is Hayden is at his best when he's hunting and when he's the underdog, and I think that with Anna Lee, like he can't be take up quite as much space, be quite as chaotic, and he is at his best when he's playing when he's taking up space and being chaotic. I would pay some serious money to see that.
I think what we have to do is like make some kind of rule with the PPA, whereas if you go to like, PPA Asia or Sydney or whatever, at least one tournament a year, the PPA gets to like decide the partnerships and like split those two up, and give us all the dream. Like, let's see Hayden and Gabe play together. Let's see, Hayden and Anna Lee. And to me, I think it's Hayden and Anna Lee pretty comfortably. I don't think I've ever seen Ben beat Anna Lee. Maybe I have. I remember.
That's true.
Ben,
Anna Lee does kind of own him in mixed.
Ben and Catherine against, was it Riley and Anna Lee? Just was absolutely a destruction. I remember, you see Will Howells and Anna Lee smoking Catherine and Ben. Maybe Ben just can't play with Catherine. And then Ben and Anna Bright losing to Thomas Wilson and Vivian David when they played. So to me, I just think Anna Lee is the one that decides who wins more than anybody else. So, but let's make it happen somehow. PPA, Connor, pull some strings. Ben, if you're listening to this podcast, which I highly doubt after everything we've ever said about you,
yeah, Ben,
if you want to prove us wrong,
Ben's an hour into the PicklePod.
Yeah, he is.
He's going to join the Lefty Reset Challenge, Pro Pickleball Talk Discord, all that stuff.
How great would it be if like Ben was just like, he's like Kevin Durant of pickleball. He's got a burner account that he's just like shitting on me repeatedly. There's definitely like one or two guys that have to comment on every single video I've ever done. I'm like, maybe one of these guys is Ben Johns. I doubt it.
Yeah, that
awesome.
one, I think there's got to be some players that have some burner accounts. I just can't imagine Ben as one of them.
No, I don't think so. I was going to say I could think of like Anna Bright, but I feel like Anna Bright says whatever she wants regardless. But yeah, we'll have to have another segment at some point. And you guys let us know in the comments once again who has a burner account, who doesn't. And we already know we already know Colin Johns has a burner account for sure. So you have to think of somebody else.
Yeah, he's gotta, for sure. Yeah, let us know who you think has a burner account. I like that too. All right, sweet. What else we got here?
Anything?
Pickleball.
So I was going to say, you have a PPA, anything about PPA Asia that you want to talk about? I mean, you're out there, you're in Hanoi. Anything we should be looking out for? What time are these pickleball matches? Like, are we going to have to be watching them at
Yeah, so it's a 12-hour difference from Central Time. So it's it's the same time, but just in the evening or morning there. So 12-hour difference from Central Time. I think it's going to be on the PPA Asia YouTube channel. Something to watch out for is it takes technically almost a day and a half to get there, right? So players who played on Sunday in St. George probably don't get a flight out until Monday morning, which then takes about 24 actual hours to get there. And then you plus 12 hours on top of that for the time difference. So players who played probably aren't getting in until late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, playing the next day on Thursday. So they've got like a day of recovery. So honestly, I think that jet lag is fake. I think that jet lag is a figment of our imaginations.
The mentally weak.
And it's for the mentally weak to feel bad for themselves about traveling and excuse themselves and where they need a day at the pool or a day in bed to rest. But it could be a thing for some people. I have it solved. I don't get jet lagged because I'm an adult.
Does your wife get jet lagged?
No, we actually have so for real, I actually think I've defeated jet lag. Like legitimately. Or at least this is something that works for me, Nico.
The Brian Johnson of jet lag.
Okay, we'll take it. So what I do is I basically, once I get somewhere, I make that day pretty much miserable and try and stay up for as long as possible and go to bed at a reasonable time in the local hour. And so that gets tough because like you've got to stay up when it's like 2 a.m., your local time.
Yeah.
And stimulants help with that. Caffeine is the only stimulant that I take. Slam it focus.
Slam it.
Actually,
Yeah.
I suppose it's paraxanthine. Chill, okay? But I stay up. I still take melatonin when it's time to go to bed because that doesn't make you go to sleep. It resets your circadian rhythm, which people get wrong. And so get a workout in when you get there and you're good. You're golden. I'm not jet lagged at all. So yeah, anyway, subscribe for more tips. Smash that like button.
I like that. And so because of the mentally weak that are going to suffer from jet lag because they're doing a treacherous journey, who played in a tournament that because you are also mentally weak decided you couldn't go to because you can't deal with a rental car.
When you put it that way.
I think we're going to see some upsets. I'm calling it right now. What I'm most excited to see is Danny Townsend and Sarah Dennehy play against some of these teams. This is going to be the first shot that we see in quite some time. If they win their first match, they got Alex Strong and Liz Trueluck, which I think is a winnable match. And then they would play Tina Pisnik and Jessie Irvine. So I think that I'm calling it semifinal run for the Aussies. That's my bold
I could see that.
prediction.
Also, Nico, you should check out the Pro Pickleball Talk bracket challenges. We've been doing bracket challenges through Picklewave. We've been doing, it started last week with St. George.
For 1 week, one
for 1 week. But it's pretty cool, dude. You can fill out an entire bracket for all of the different 5 events. And we now have sponsors and prizes for those. And we can talk about the whole thing through the Pro Pickleball Talk Discord. So you can either go to picklewave.com to enter the bracket challenge, or you can go in the Pro Pickleball Talk Discord. So I filled out a bracket. I do have them losing to Jessie and Tina. I think they upset Alex and Liz Trueluck, but I've got Sarah and Danny in the whatever that is, the quarterfinals. And I honestly think that we are going to see American dominance, or at least US-based dominance, because the draw is like primarily US teams. Like there's small draws and there's a ton of US teams that are there. So there's just not that many opportunities. Now, the interesting thing is going to be hot, humid, Yola ball, pickle roll. Like the conditions are as polar opposite as you could possibly get from Red Rock, where it was hot, where we were using a lifetime ball outside. I actually think that lifetime balls are more like tennis balls than pickleballs in that I feel like they get a little bit faster and springier when it's actually hot. And that's the case with tennis balls as well. Most pickleballs play faster when it's cold because they are like a baseball hitting a concrete wall. That's how most pickleballs play. Whereas the lifetime ball is much more spongy, and so it gets spongier and springier in faster conditions and springs off actually a little bit faster. So lifetime ball, opposite of all the other pickleballs, I think it actually gets a little bit faster in hotter conditions. So anyway, all that just to say, we're going from a lifetime ball that's faster in hot conditions to a Yola ball that's slower in hot conditions and pickle roll. And it's just a slower ball to begin with. Like conditions are going to be so different from St. George. And I don't really know where I was going with that. I kind of lost the plot in there, but like, just figured that was an interesting tidbit.
We're primed for upsets. It's a different experience. We got the jet lag. We got the different ball. We got the different conditions. As Chris Calley mentioned, Christian Alshon about to make the entire country of Vietnam sick with his fever. But no, I think I think we'll see to your point, I don't think we're going to see a ton of upsets, but I think that we're going to have some surprises in the semifinals or the quarterfinals at least. It's not just going to be chalk across the board like it might normally be. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm betting the opposite. Make your bracket on Pickle Wave.
I'll make my bracket. I'm excited.
Yeah, make your brackets.
Put them in
I
the
think we
semis.
see all Americans, all semifinals, with the potential exception of singles.
Yeah, I also want to see. I want to see how Gabe and Tyra Black do. So that's a new partnership. So that'll be an exciting one to see.
Yeah, agreed.
Hopefully she's doing all right. Did you see her cryptic story post?
Oh, yeah, I did. What was it? In the airport lounge and walked in on, an ex-partner talking shit about me or something like that.
When they did you
I
dirty.
feel like everybody
like
is assuming that's Christian Alshon, but that might not be Christian Alshon.
Maybe it's Paris Todd. I don't know who it could be. But the thing is, if it's not Christian Alshon, he should be like calling her repeatedly, be like, please, Tyra, everybody thinks this is me. It can't be. It's not me. And please just say I wasn't talking about Christian. But so if it is indeed not Christian, poor guy, because he's taking 100% of the blame.
Yeah, for sure. I have no idea, but man, that's the first time like some drama like that really blew up. People are really upset about this tweet or whatever it was. Snapchat story, Instagram story. I don't fucking know.
Instagram story. Please, Zane, get to the bottom of it. Detective Zane, put it on your YouTube or whatever. And get a detective.
Yeah, I'm just. This is the extent that I'm going to think about that one. I don't care.
Perfect. So Zane, we have guess my DUPR.
All right, let's guess this 3-0 Redditor's DUPR.
All right, let's see it.
We got a giant arrow to nobody in the corner over here.
Oh, there he is.
Put the ball away, dude. What are you doing? Oh, okay. We got a little jump.
He jumped up with both. I don't. Do you ever?
The jump was impressive.
Feet? Yeah,
the jump was impressive, but the overhead following that up was absolutely anything but.
6-0 jump.
My guy is jack socking it over there, not looking for a backhand. Ooh, okay.
I think I actually know who this guy is. That's another double jump. That's another jump, nothing put away. Like
people see him jump up like that, and they're like, "Oh, he must be good," and then they're distracted by his 3-mile-per-hour overhead.
Oh, that was pretty. This is complete. The guy just like running, and the other guy just ran like an entire lap around the court. Did you see that?
I'm watching the same thing you are, bro.
Yeah, but I was like, all of a sudden, I'm like, why is the other guy back on the same side of the court? How did he do that? He went from a Burt and then just ran around the baseline at the back and came back and was on the right side.
This guy, I feel like, is peak pickleball. Like I can kind of tell by that overhead and the forehand that he's not like a tennis player originally, but also I think he's probably got some tricky stuff. I'm gonna give this guy a. Also, this is highlights. I'm going to give this guy a 4.75.
All right. Here's my thought. One is I'm going to, because the other partners also looked really good, like Mr. Running a 360. My guess is that he's probably in the similar range. I'm going to go ahead and say 5.5.
5.5. Okay. Dang. I just always shoot too high generally. Like, so I subtracted probably 0.3 from what I really wanted to.
Oh man, now you're regretting your decision.
Yeah, I'm sticking with it. Double down. 4.75. I've never seen anybody better than this in the 4-5 category. 5.5. Oh my God, you opened his profile before.
No, I did not open his profile, but to be fair, I thought it was Bryce Larson. So I think the guy's from Utah. So I played against one of his partners before in a money ball, but so I knew he was good. To be quite honest, I didn't look like 5.5 play, but my play looks like 3.0 play, and I'm a little bit better than that. But
a little bit better than that, dude. You're not even a 5.0.
I'm not even a 5-0. No, I'm not better than him. I said I'm better than 3-0.
Oh, okay.
I literally just posted a video, speaking of guess my DUPR, of me playing with Lingwei, and then this senior pro Serena, who's like a 5'5", and Lingwei's like a 5'5", and I was like, oh, 5-0 guys versus girls. They're like, yeah, right. These like all these players are like 3.75 at best. I'm like, this is a legitimate signed PPA pro. You guys are high. Anyway, that's what happens all the time. Zane, I'm not sure if that's ever happened to you. People probably know that you're a pro, so they don't do that. But it's crazy. So
Man, I just don't know how to play this game. Here's the thing. I just don't know whether I should try to play the game, like try to get the DUPR accurate, or if I should just tell the people what DUPR they actually should be.
That's
the biggest thing.
4.75, buddy.
No. I'm frustrated. I'm off by 0.75 on this guy, Nico.
You owe this guy an
myself.
Apology. You should probably go message him and say you're sorry.
No, I'm never gonna do that. But
go play him.
I am disappointed in myself.
If you play this guy in a pickleball match, how many points does he score?
More than you, buddy.
I told the Discord that I would beat you straight up in men's doubles at this point. So.
All right, I'll put some money behind that. Yeah. All right, do we have a pickleball court for today before we sign off from Vietnam?
Zane, I don't have anything for you. I've been like on my best behavior. I actually haven't played a lot of pickleball recently, so
that's why you've been on your best behavior.
Yeah. You?
No, I've got nothing. I've actually been pretty nice to people.
Yeah, everybody, pickleball players, your wife, all this,
Yeah, just
you
about
took her to
everybody.
the airport. You take her to the airport?
Well, we went together, so yes.
The only time that she's getting to the airport with me is when I take her personally.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
We're
nice.
All right.
I've been nice. We'll see. I'll try to be more of an asshole. Honestly, there were probably just so many asshole things that I did that I just don't even register as being an asshole anymore. So maybe that's what it is.
Zane, the calibration is off right now. So it's just like his baseline is asshole as opposed to normal. So maybe now after you have been nice for a while, you can figure it out. Go do some things. Go do some things in Hanoi. Figure out how to bring us down with your asshole behavior. And
yeah, I'll try my best. I'll try my best. On that note, PicklePod.
PicklePod.